Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and today is a Saturday, and I'm doing a commercial job. This is actually the second part of my commercial job, and there's two buildings, and in this building I just do this one hallway and a set of stairs, so this will go really fast. The first building I did, which was just actually very close to here, two big hallways, three sets of stairs, and it was both of these buildings are medical offices, so lots of traffic, at least in the other building anyway. I don't think so much in this one, but anyway, I was using my viable morning, and I felt that I was just going to pull the rotary in to do this one. It's pretty small, and I think the rotary's fine for this. It's actually in really good shape. You can see these are carpet tiles, and it'll go fast. Whoops, we've got a lot of whack here. Straighten that out. That's a little better. Alrighty. Anyway, they do take really good care of both these buildings. So, and I was in there. The other building, the owner of the building, let me in and everything, and then he says, "Have a good day, and I'll see you in the fall." So I guess we're doing it a couple times a year. I've been doing this for these two buildings for a few years now. Kind of interesting, the other building, probably about 15 years ago, maybe even longer, I was in that building one day for some reason, I don't remember why, and somebody else was in there cleaning the carpets, and it was actually the rotostatic guy in town, which, that was at least 15 years ago. He's been gone for a long time, and actually, I saw his wife was actually doing the stairwell. So that was a long time ago. I don't think there's very many rotostatic franchises around. I think that franchise model really, they really dropped the ball on that, I guess. I think they could have been a lot bigger than they were. But anyway, that's kind of the way it goes. I assume there's still rotostatic franchises around. Actually, come to think of it, some young guy did buy up the franchise, and but I don't know what was going on there, but they just seemed to just not be serious at it or something. But anyway, the rest is history. That was a long time ago. So let's go back this way. I could have used the Vibe here, obviously, but I always carry more than one machine in the van at any time. Anyway, it would be very unusual for me not to have, even if I'm using the Vibe or my Orbitech or the Roto Wash or whatever I'm using. I almost always will have the rotary on hand, just in case something were to go wrong. You can always go back to the rotary, because the rotary works great. Not always the right choice or the best choice, but it's the workhorse. And Monday, this is Saturday, I was going to have the day off, but then we had a call, or our email actually, on Friday, yesterday, from one of the ministries, I think a ministry of Child and Welfare or something like that. I'm not sure which one it was. And apparently they want us to go and take a look at cleaning all the office chairs in their building or buildings. I'm not sure whether it's just in one building or not. but apparently it's about 450 chairs, office chairs. So some of them will be, I guess, like waiting room chairs, just a seat. Others will be a seat in the back. Some will be a low back. Some will be a high back. Some will have arms. Some will not have arms. That's not a straightforward and simple thing to tackle, because likely, if it's a typical ministry building, which I've been in some of them, they've usually got offices all over the place, and cubicles, and there's desks, people in their desks all over the place. So to do the job, I'm going to have to you go in there, and you're moving from spot to spot constantly. So even though to actually do a chair may take you, some of those chairs would take you less than 5 minutes, depending on how you do it. And I would probably use the step method, I would expect, but you got to factor in how long it'll take you to move from each position, from one office to another office, down the hall, in the common areas, around the cubicles and everything. It can be a very, very time-consuming operation. And to do 450 chairs, even if it took you 5 minutes a chair, that multiplies into an awful lot of time, which that would multiply into a pretty darn big monetary charge, because you have to charge for the amount of time. And one of the factors that you have to bear in mind, and I do certainly, is if I want that job, whatever time that I spend doing that job, I am not doing other jobs. And I know that, normally speaking, for my residential work, which is what I primarily do anyway, I know that I can make easily, on a decent day, I can easily make $1,500 in a day. So I have to, and on top of that, when you're doing a job like a great big all those chairs, it's just a relentless grind. So I would not be making any attempt when giving a quote to try to win by being a cheap price, because you don't win, and I don't need that. I know I'm booked out a month already, so I wouldn't want to lose what is my main focus of residential work, just to bend over backwards to do commercial, and to do those chairs, that could be pretty hard work, So I would be move my power. I would be very careful when I take a look at this. I have to really think carefully about the layout, how long I think it's going to take me, and then kind of factor it from there. And on top of that, I would probably, if I do get the job, I would almost certainly get my buddy Roger to come and help me. And I'm going to pay him, and I pay him really well to do this kind of thing. When he comes and helps me, I actually pay him hundreds of dollars in a day when we're doing carpets. That's the way it works for me. But anyway, I'll give it some thought. I'm going to go look at it on Monday. I'm scheduled to go take a look at it, and then we'll talk to them and see what their needs are and what it is that they're after. We'll try and determine whether or not it's a viable thing for me to attempt to even do. I have to find out, and I would assume that we'd have to do it on a weekend, and I don't work Sundays, and I don't think I would be able to do it all in one day. I doubt that very much. In fact, it might take, well, 2 or 3 days maybe. But that's fine. I could, pace it out over, over a few weekends or whatever. But it's got to be worth my while, especially when they give up a Saturday. But anyway, we'll take a look at it on Monday, and we'll see what they want, and whether or not it's something that I want, I guess. My wife actually asked me. She said, "Do you really want to?" She told me that they wanted this coach. She says, "Do you want to bother even doing this? Looking at doing this?" And I said, "Well, I might as well. Who knows? Maybe it's a good idea." The last big job like that I did for a government thing was I did RCMP. I think I mentioned this in a video just recently. Suddenly realizing, hey, I think I already said all this. But anyway, I think I'm going into more detail into my thinking right now about when you get the call to do these really big quotes, they aren't necessarily how do I say this? They can be a blessing, or sometimes they're not. They can sometimes be something, more than you can. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew, in other words. Because I have actually turned down jobs. I remember a few times the place called me up, and I walked in there, and it's like, oh my goodness, this is a huge job, and I just don't want to tackle this. I normally work alone, and you got to factor in what you have available for manpower and equipment, and then take a look at the time involved. You got to figure out, where am I going to park? In one case, I had a job, great big job downtown, and there's a real issue with parking downtown now in Kelowna. I mean, there literally is no parking, and I'm not going to be parking like 2 or 3 blocks away, plugging a meter or whatever, and downtown is not a good place now to park at night, especially, and often you got to go and do these kind of jobs at odd hours and stuff, and I don't need that. So these are all things you got to factor in. Sometimes you can say no, and you should say no. So anyway, now I just have the stairs to do, and then I can go back to the other building and drop off the key and give them their bill, and then my Saturday is done. Let's have a look at that pack. Oh, that's pretty dirty. Okay. Well, I got a match to do I have a door match to do as well, so we'll go do that. All right. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.